last heat of the timed finals of the 1,650-yard freestyle. And Paige McKenna, the defending champion. McKenna walks out with a Wisconsin cap and tries to defend, the sophomore from Easton, Pennsylvania. And the time to beat right now is 15:52.18, set by Indiana's Mariah Denigan. And here's who we have here in the final heat. Denise Ertan, an Olympian from Turkey. She's a freshman for Georgia Tech. And it's Kristen Steggy, just celebrated a birthday a couple of days ago. Steggy from Tennessee finished 4th in this event a couple of years ago. Here's Erica Sullivan, the silver medalist in the 1500 free in Tokyo, swimming for Texas. She was the NCAA runner-up to Paige McKenna last year, the defending champ, who then underwent surgery and was out of the pool for about 4 months, then began to ramp up her training. Kensey McMahon, who just won her first individual NCAA championship in the 500 free earlier in the meet. She is with Alabama in 5. There's Allie Breslin, junior for the Tennessee Volunteers. Silver in the SEC about a month ago. And here's from Pennsylvania, Anna Kalandadze. Second straight final heat for her. And it is Chingwei Gan from Indiana, freshman from Singapore. She's in lane 8 for the Indiana Hoosiers. And now we'll go to Kensey McMahon, who won her first individual championship a few days ago. And Erica Sullivan, certainly one of the top contenders, one of the best long-distance swimmers in the world.
Take your marks.
Top 3 you saw all return from last year. 7 seconds separated those 3 swimmers. It really wasn't close. McKenna won it by almost 6 seconds, actually just over 5, and then Sullivan was a couple seconds ahead of Kensey McMahon. And this one might shape up to be a little different. Kensey McMahon, all the pressure is completely off of her. She's already won the 500, which was a huge upset. Coming in ranked, I think she was in the 30s somewhere ranked. And then wins it. Erica Sullivan was 4th in the 500. McKenna tripped up a little bit in the 500. She was 17th earlier. She was 6th in that event last year. So is that a sign of things to come? We'll have to see. But this race really is wide open.
How much of a burden is it off of Kensey McMahon to finally,
can't tell
again,
you.
kind of that's been one of the biggest shocks we've seen in Knoxville over the course of this. I mean, what does it do for her, and how cathartic is it for her in the 1650?
I think it's a great point, Patrick, in the fact that, you know, she can swim with ease now. Nobody expected her to win the 500. Nobody really is expecting her to win this, except that Alabama faithful. But she's got a real chance. I mean, at the World Short Course Championships just a few months ago, she won the bronze medal in that. So this is a woman that can definitely do it again here in the 1650 and sweep the distance events.
So this is 66 lengths back and forth. Near the top of your screen, that is Erica Sullivan turning in the lead. At the bottom of your screen, that is Chingwei Gan of Indiana.
Sullivan in 2022 was dealing with some injuries, and she still finished 2nd at the NCAAs. As you mentioned, silver medal in the Olympic Games in this metric distance, the 1500, behind who else? Katie Ledecky. And it's my monthly or weekly shout out to Katie Ledecky and what she did with that record. She just broke her own American record in the fastest time in history just a couple of weeks ago down in Orlando, Florida. Almost broke 15 minutes. She went 15:01, Patrick.
Incredible.
And just to give a little perspective on her NCAA record and her American record. Her NCAA record, 15:03. Nobody's going to be close to that, but nobody has ever been close to that. But her last 500 yards in that race at the NCAA championship was 4:33. 4:36 won the individual 500 here in Knoxville. And if you take, she really went out for it fast in Orlando her last 500 there was 4:35, which still would have won the NCAA. So again, Katie Ledecky in a completely different stratosphere.
And I know sprints are your forte, but take us inside the minds of the coaches and of the swimmers in breaking down this 1,650-yard race.
You know, a lot of it is trying to find a stroke rhythm, find that timing. You want to try to get into a consistent stroke rate, meaning you want to be very consistent on the number of strokes you try to take each 25, and that means the clock. Everything revolves around the clock and being consistent once you settle in to your stroke. And then you break it down by distance. You break it down by, I think, 500. The first, second, and third 500, and then the last 150 is just get up and go. But you really kind of try to break it down. And again, if you go back to the champ, when she broke that record at the NCAAs, she was 4:35 going out, 4:36 going out. Then she really negative split. Went down to 4:33 and then 4:33 her last 500. So that's the way that you want to feel. You want to feel like you're getting faster as you go along.
One final footnote on Katie Ledecky. Again, 15:03.31 is her NCAA record. We're likely going to see, what, 15:40, 7:48 maybe here tonight. How many years will it take, do you think, for anybody to begin to sniff that NCAA mark set by Katie?
I think we'll be long gone. Carol Capitani is looking on right now, and Erica Sullivan. What an incredible job. I know we've been talking about it all week long, but what an incredible job Carol Capitani has done with the Texas Longhorns. I mean, she's run into a freight train, obviously, in Virginia the last couple of years. But, you know, they never gave up. As Cynthia said, they have incredible diving, but their swimming has improved dramatically under her leadership. And they're going to be a force to reckon with. They're sort of like Virginia. Once somebody just goes into that senior mode and goes out, they kind of come right in. And an example of that, Lydia Jacoby, freshman, wins the 100 breaststroke earlier in the meet. So let's see, she's 4:43 going out, Erica Sullivan. Last year, she was 4:41, so a couple of seconds slower than last year, but everybody else is much slower going out. I mean, it is a very slow field going out. You talk about Paige McKenna, for example. McKenna was also 4:41 going out last year. She's 6 seconds slower going out this year. So the whole field has kind of come back down to earth, and that spells good news for, I think, Erica Sullivan, because she's not going to die. I mean, she was on the World Championship team back in 2019 in the 25K. Patrick, that's 25,000 meters.
Unsubscribed. Ryder, let me ask you a question here. Sullivan right now is kind of heads up with Chingwei Gan. Gan is down in lane 8. Sullivan's up in 3. Are they able to see one another, or does Sullivan think she's in the clear?
They can certainly see each other, sure. I don't think at this early on, I don't think it really matters, but you know, you bring up Chingwei Gan from Indiana. The top time so far happens to be an Indiana sophomore, 15:52. Mariah Dinnigan has the quickest time so far. So this is a timed final. So all the heats before this, they certainly count. Stieg, the sister of Kristen, who swims for Tennessee. Rachel swims for Georgia, also a sophomore, went 15:54. And then it goes to Liberty Williams from Louisville, 15:55. So I don't think those times will hold up, but right now, you know, the Indiana Hoosiers swimming really well in these distance events under the tutelage of Ray Luz and a great staff there.
Let me ask you one more question then, because Gan comes in as a freshman from Singapore, just came to the IU campus a little more than a year ago. We saw at the SEC Championships, Levi Sandage of Kentucky in his true freshman year shot that conference by dropping about 18 or 20 seconds. Is that maybe in the wheelhouse potentially for Gan to make a big drop and contend?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I think if I remember right, he did it from one of the outside lanes as well. And there's no doubt that, you know, she's in a field now, Patrick, that has come down to earth as far as going out. Nobody was the rabbit except for Erica Sullivan, and even Erica was slower than she went last year going out, and now she's come back to the field. And Yeah, maybe what happened is Ching-Hui Kwan actually saw her teammate end up going about 5 seconds faster than her seed time and said, you know, I'm already finaled in the 500. She got the final in the 500. There she is, way down there at the bottom. And, you know, I made a final, something that not a lot of people thought I was going to do. She was 30th last year in the 500. She did get 10th in the mile last year. And it's coming up on the 1,000 mark here in about 100 meters.
That was the 900-yard turn right there. And if nothing else, gone by kind of being the rabbit in one of the outside lanes might impact the race strategy for the others across the pool who didn't expect to see Gone do what she's doing. Sullivan right now is second. Steggy of Tennessee is right on her left shoulder in lane 2. And then we have Paige McKenna in the red cap, the defending national champion in 4. And Kensey McMahon of Alabama takes the turn simultaneous with those 4. But right now it is still a comfortable lead, about 2¼ seconds for Ching-Hui Kwan.
And again, if you break down her splits and what she's been able to do split-wise, and look at the last 6 or 7 50s. 8-7, 28-7, 8-6, 8-7, 8-6, 8-7, 8-6. I mean, she is, that's what you want to do. Settle into kind of a consistent 28-6 right there. 28-8, went up a little bit, 28-8. And now the rest of the field has caught Erica Sullivan. And there's a 4-way basically tie for second place. And that was the 1,000 mark. So she's 9:30 at the 1,000.
And McMahon, again, the 500 national champion earlier in the meet, looking very smooth and is beginning to accelerate a little bit. She's starting to make her move, trying to hunt down Gone, but right now McMahon is sitting in second. White cap in lane 5.
I really love the way Kensey McMahon's looking right there, and she's solidly now in second place. She's gone by them, and as you said, she can see over there in lane 8. You can see the vision is probably going to be there when she comes and swims and breathes into that side. She can kind of see the wake that Ching-Hui Kwan is producing. And if you start to look at McMahon splits, now let's take a look at them. 28-6, 28-5, 28-4. A little bit of drop each way. That one went up to 28-7, but she's basically virtually even now, split-wise, with Ching-Hui Kwan. And McKenna starting to make a little bit of a move too there with a red cap. She doesn't want McMahon to get away.
Now McKenna in the red cap, the defending champ. She beat Gone in the Big Ten Championships by almost 10 seconds.
Right.
That was about a month ago, and this race is formulating a whole lot differently.
It's not happening, and she's not going to get beat by 10 seconds. She may be run down, and that's going to be tough to do, but she's not going to beat her rival, Ching-Hui Kwan, by 10 seconds. She is having the race of her life right now. We've only got 4.5 minutes left. I mean, she's looking really good, and she's got a perfect view. Keep that shot, guys. See that right there? That's a perfect view to that field right there, so she can see exactly what's going on. She knows what she has to do, putting a little kick into it. Great distance per stroke, great line. Look at that line. Very consistent with each 25. Again, if you look at the consistency, and that's what you look for. 8-7, 8-7, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. I mean, every single one is right there. That one, though, 29 flat. That's the first time she's been over 29. And now everybody else, or at least when I say everybody else, there's 3 or 4 that are under 29. So they're starting to inch up just a little bit. They're running out of room, but this race is far from over. You look at it and you think, oh, she's going to win it. Nah, not quite.
250 yards to go. It is still Gone, and there is the head coach for India, or the Indiana Hoosiers.
The teammates right there. Ray Lewis, who coaches those milers. Wisconsin having another quiet, great meet here. Look at this.
Lead
tightening up.
1.2 seconds for Gone, and that turn, 200 yards to go.
The last 350s, McKenna and McMahon have outsplit Qinghui Guan by 0.3 of a second each 50. That adds up to about a second over the last 150 yards.
Here they come.
And this is going to be a great one.
We'll see what's left in the tank for the freshman from IU from Singapore, Qinghui Guan, bottom of your screen. She has led from about the 300-yard mark.
She's fallen off, though. McMahon almost outsplit her by a second there. I like McMahon. I just like the way she's really ramped up her rate and real consistent. McKenna still has that kick. She's not out of it.
Well, McMahon has
gone by her.
Just kind of nose past Qinghui Guan.
Gone by her. First time.
100 yards to go.
That's the first time that she has led this entire race. That's 1,450 yards into the race. I don't know. I love McMahon. She's now starting to make even more of a wedge. She outsplit McKenna there by 0.6 of a second. And outsplit Qinghui Guan by almost a second. Let's see this 50. Yeah. 28-2 to 29-1 and 29-2. This is all Kensey McMahon.
150 yards to go. McMahon, center of your screen, now in the lead. Guan trying to hold on to second. The defending champ McKenna right now flips in third.
Yeah, nobody's catching her. She tasted that thrill of victory in that 500. And now, nobody's catching her. She was 6th back in 2021. She was 3rd last year.
She even raced in this race in 2019 and finished 7th. She has been with this program seemingly forever and has broken through in Knoxville across this meet.
She's going to win it.
This is going to be the most delicious sound for Kensey McMahon. That bell. 50 yards away from a double national championship week in Knoxville. One more turn for McMahon. And this will be a daily double for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And Kensey McMahon, the graduate student from Jacksonville, Florida, that nobody saw coming. Touches in 15:43.84. McMahon is a double national champion. Guan does finish 2nd in the heat, and she will be the national runner-up, 15:46 her time. And Paige McKenna, the defending national champion, finishes 3rd, 15:48. How about that reaction? Goodness.
Wow.
What were the odds on that double national championship coming in?
What a great double. I can guarantee you not a lot of people picked this young lady to double in the 500 and 1650, especially the 500. And here's right where she took the lead, right here. After 1,450 yards, boom! Once she felt like she had the lead, it was all over. She had it in the 500, and she's got it right here. 66 links in, and she goes out a winner. And how about the Alabama Crimson Tide? Margot Gear right there, the head coach.
She was about 3.5 seconds off of the lead, 400 yards into this race. And Kensey McMahon just rips it away over the final couple of 100 yards. The official results of Heat 6, McMahon 15:43, Guan, and Paige McKenna.
Kensey, you have now won 2 national championship titles here this weekend. We make the milers wait all weekend long, and that race itself was so patient for you. How sweet is this moment right now?
Feels really good. I've been stuck not at the best time for a while, so I was really happy with that. And it was a really competitive field and really, really happy with the outcome.
So for the outcome, were you expecting that time? And did you ever believe that you would be walking away from these championships with 2 titles?
Definitely not. The 500 came as a big surprise. The mile's always been my focus, but I think my perspective on the sport has changed a lot in the year, and I think that's what really made the difference.
Well, we're so glad to see you on top. Congratulations, Kensey.
Thank you. Roll Tide.